Hello divas, long time no see. I mean, not really, I've been posting weekly as per usual, but I feel like I haven't been doing my nonsense lately. I haven't been just having fun, having a little kiki, and that's why today I wanted to do something a little bit different from the scripted videos that I have been doing as of late. I hope that you enjoyed my Camila Cabello and Chapel Roan deep dives. Today I'm back on my nonsense. I'm ranking every single ERAS tour outfit. Yes, all of the ones that are available so far. I got some comments being like, wait and do this when the tour's over, there's gonna be more outfits added, and like, yes, that's true, but also I can just make another video, you know? I can just do it all again. And I felt like talking about and ranking these looks, and there are so many of them, specifically 1989. There are so many iterations of that new 1989 combo, just like endless color combos that she's doing, some more gorgina than others. But the indelible resource that I've used for this is a spreadsheet called the ERAS Tour Outfits, which you can see here. It goes through every era and shows you like what outfits there are and how often they were worn. So I'm actually gonna be tier ranking today, but when we're going through each of the eras, maybe we can take a little peek at the Excel. We can see where these outfits are falling. How popular are they? Have they been retired? Because some of these looks have been retired. I'm looking at you, fugly speak now dress. I'm looking at you. Thank God you were retired. But before we get into the video, I want to say a big thank you to today's sponsor, SeatGeek, who, you know, is a known provider of opportunities for Swifties to attend the ERAS Tour. Earlies, we are still in the thick of Brat Summer. And what is the ethos of Brat Summer, pray tell? Party, enjoy, listen to great music, wear a cute outfit, and where better to embody these brat ethos than at a concert. I'm so excited to share this hookup with you today from our sponsor, SeatGeek. If you use my code SWIFTologist10, you can get 10% off any tickets on SeatGeek, whether you're a new customer or not, for sports, concerts, and festivals. If you've been eyeing up some eye-wateringly expensive ERAS Tour resale tickets for the North American leg later this year, I can't bring the prices down for you, but I can get you 10% off. I can. And if you've already seen ERAS, there are so many incredible artists that are touring right now whose tickets sold out really fast in general sale. Sabrina Carpenter, Billie Eilish, Hozier, Noah Kahan, and Zach Bryan, to name a few. SeatGeek has you covered for literally all of them. They even have Sweat Tour tickets for Troye Sivan and Charlie up there too. One thing I love about SeatGeek is their color coding system. They rate tickets on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of how good value they are. So when you're browsing around for tickets, look for the green dots when you're searching for a good deal, and know that a red dot means it's too expensive. Every ticket you buy on SeatGeek is backed by their buyer guarantee, and they are the only site that lets you return your tickets ahead of the event with swaps up to 72 hours before an event. I wish I had this feature in Singapore for ERAS when I upgraded from a terrible back of floor seat to a front row seat. I had to sell my old ticket, buy a new one, pay fees both times. It was a hassle and a mess. With this process, theoretically, you could just get a promo code refund and use that to simply purchase a new ticket, a better ticket to the event that you wanted to go to, or you can use it to attend another show. So if at the last minute you can't make it to the Charlie XCX concert, you could just get a Billie Eilish concert ticket instead. Let me reiterate how iconically SeatGeek has hooked you up. No matter how many times you've bought tickets with SeatGeek before, the code SWIFTologist10 will get you 10% off your next order. So let's do some research, mamas. Let's take out our phones. Let's open up the SeatGeek app. Let's pick an iconic diva to go and see. Let's get some seats and add the code SWIFTologist10 to our accounts, and rock and roll. This offer is only available for a limited time, so get it while you can. Thank you again so much to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Zach. I make thoughtful weekly videos about pop culture. This isn't going to be one of my more thorough analyses. It's really just going to be me having a laugh, having a kiki, having a giggle. And I think it's important to share with everyone that my opinion is not the gospel. If you like something that I don't like, that's totally fair, but don't scream at me for having an opinion, because I'm going to have one and you're going to be mad about it. And if you are, keep it away from my comment section. I'll block you. So these are the categories that we're going to be working with today. Gorgina! Of course, this is the most beautiful eleganza outfit and gown that we can find in the whole ERAS Tour. And there are many of them because honestly, the designers knocked it out of the park with this. We have Roberto Cavalli, we have Versace, we have Elie Saab, who contributed some flops, by the way, which is very disappointing because I've always loved Taylor and Elie Saab. And we have Louboutin doing the shoes, Oscar de la Renta doing the Midnight's bodysuit. I mean, it is in different areas. The budget for the costumes for this show is crazy. And I feel like when I was going through all of the variations in preparation for making this video, I was like, damn, what other pop girl is doing this many looks or has the budget to do this many looks? I mean, Beyonce, obviously, we know, yes, before everyone comes for me, Beyonce does it all the time. But I think it's pretty iconic that Taylor has this many variations on all the different looks. Her laundry bill must be insane. And that little sweatshop of Vietnamese children underneath the ERAS Tour stage, you know, I've always had a theory that there's like a mini city underneath the stage of the ERAS Tour where they just, you know, operate independently. It's like an autonomous zone, kind of like the Vatican of the ERAS Tour, if you will. They have been hard at work, the Vietnamese children, sewing together all these garments for Taylor's use. And now now here we are, able to appreciate them all. So I have also put in some of her guitars and her microphones because they also, you know, switch up and change depending on what outfit we're wearing. So I thought that would be fun. Then I have Bellissimo, which means, you know, it's gorgeous. I love it. It's not quite my favorite, but it's amazing. Great gown, beautiful gown. If you know the reference, it's a Taylor Swift reference. These are gowns that are just, you know, there. Well, okay is something that when I see it, I don't throw up. And then we get to Return to Sender, which is where she comes back up. She comes up on the lift and I say, go back down there. Go back down to the little village and change. Start with Lover. Lover has, I think, to me, each and every bodysuit is like more iconic than the next. I am most pleased overall, I would say, with the variations of this specific outfit. Like, I like all of them pretty much. Let's start with the classic one, the HBIC, what I believed was filmed in the ERAS tour movie. This is the blue and pink bodysuit. Now, we have to clap. We have to clap. It's gorgina. I mean, look at it. Look at it. What's there to say negative about it? It's gorgeous. I can't say anything to its face. It's simply beautiful. I love the detailing on this. I feel like this is the one that I see replicated most often. But, you know, actually, I think there are more gorgina ones than this one. It is an icon. I'm going to put it into Bellissimo. Now, the blue and gold bodysuit. I love this one. This might just be my personal favorite one. Maybe because I've seen it up close twice. And I feel like when you're like very close to the stage, you get a full appreciation for how glittery and sparkly these jewels are. Every single sequin hand placed and shimmering, making the whole stadium shimmer. So I think that's pretty iconic. The best bodysuit of all time, in my humble opinion, is of course the hot pink one. And what you're going to find out is that I am very partial to all of the pink options. Now, it's not hot pink, it's just regular old pink. But when she does a full pink sweep of all her looks, because she has the range to do that, she did it in Singapore, it was something unlike anything I've ever seen in my life. And one of the great tragedies of this world is that the pink enchanted dress seems to have just been abandoned in Singapore, but thank God, because I got to see it. The orange one, Gorgina. It's now, okay, I'm going to put it in Bellissimo because I just think it looks kind of weird with some of the visuals. Like, I understand that some of the visuals, there is an element of orange in the backdrop for Cruel Summer, etc. But I just don't associate the color orange with Lover. And she is very into orange a lot. It comes up frequently and it looks great on her, especially that kind of like burnt, dusty orange shade I love. But I don't know if it's Gorgina. And this one, the tassels, the purple with the tassels, cricket. I don't really like this one. It's the tassels for me. The tassels don't do anything for me. And I like the idea of a purple option. I do. But those tassels, I feel the same way. I just don't like fringe on the ERAS tour. You're going to come to find that out very soon. I guess we can move straight on to the jackets that accompany these bodysuits. Now, the silver jacket, Gorgina or Bellissimo? I think I'm going to put it in Bellissimo. I like the silver jacket, but I think, you know, there are options that are more Gorgina. The blue, I think, is very underrated. I'm going to put that straight in Gorgina, although it's not very Lover. It's not very Lover. The pink one, also straight into Gorgina. I see pink, I put it in Gorgina. That's the law. That's just the way that this is going to work today. Sorry, dolls. And the orange one, Bellissimo, I guess. Again, I'm just not 100% on board with orange as a Lover color. And you know what I'm really not on board with as a Lover color? Black. This black blazer is not doing it for me. And whenever she puts it on, I'm like, no, why would you do that? Okay, moving on to the boots, I guess. We can do the boots and the microphones. I've just realized how ridiculous it is to go this in detail ranking. But you know what? I'm just going to do it anyway. Okay, the gradient, like sunset colory, pink iridescent-ish boot. Is this the one that broke in Rio? I think this is the one that broke in Rio. We haven't seen it in a while. Gorgina. I mean, come on. I'm obsessed. The orange and pink, great gown, beautiful gown. Orange and pink together wouldn't be my favorite thing. Pure pink, again, I told you, I see pink, it goes straight in. The iridescent boots, okay, great gown, beautiful gown. Well, you know what? Actually, that's rude. I'm going to put that into Bellissimo because when I first saw them, they made the whole place shimmer and I gagged. The goldish ones, they can go into great gown also, maybe Bellissimo. It feels really stupid to be ranking boots, if I can speak my truth. I don't know why I'm ranking boots. And similarly, I'm going to rank guitars and microphones next. So I think actually the blue guitar is so elite. Every time I see it up close, especially when she wears it with the pink bodysuit, I love it so much, the contrast between the two. Obviously, the pink guitar is just like, it's a classic, it's a standard, it just has to be there. So I'm going to make it Bellissimo. The purple one, great gown, beautiful gown. Again, the whole purple fit is not my thing. Why don't we now take a look at what she wears most often? All right, so what we can see is she wears the blue and pink variation most often. I think this is because it was the one that she started the tour with, so it kind of just like made sense that she wore the same thing over and over. The variations did come kind of slow, I suppose. And that's at 39%. At 30%, the other most popular one is the gold and the blue. I know that's right. What's really criminal is that the purple tassel is worn more than the hot pink. And I can't believe that the pink is worn so infrequently because it is such a gag, especially when you see it live. And for Lover, too. Like, why are we doing purple more than we're doing hot pink? That doesn't really make sense to me. And then obviously it follows a similar fashion for the blazers because, you know, they're kind of coordinated. The pink guitar is the most often seen one. I mean, we have to clap and cheer. Of course, we love that. Lover, then blue, then purple. Keep that purple guitar away. I don't really want that. The boots, similar fashion. Oh, we need to get those hot pink boots more. The pink and orange ones are growing on me, actually, now that I'm looking. I can't get too sidetracked. I have so many millions of outfits to rank. Why don't I take your hand and drag you head first, Fearless? Because that's what we're going to be ranking up next. Now, I think there is really only one acceptable Fearless bodysuit. I guess that's a hot take. And it is the shimmery short tassel gold one. Gorgina. Gorgeous. I don't think we need to have options, especially when the options are what they are. And I think that this looks wonderful. I think it shimmers. I think it, you know, encapsulates the goldness of the Fearless era. It matches the stage. The octopus dress, the noodle dress. I don't like the noodles. So I'm going to put that in well, okay. It's not ugly. Maybe should I put it in return to sender? I don't know. Am I feeling mean? Something's got to go there. Something's got to go there, but I'm not 100% sold on that. I'll put it in well, okay, and reassess later. I think the silver tassel is okay. Great gown, great gown. This black and silver one, everybody seems to like it. I saw it in London and I was like, this looks cheap. This looks like a dance mom's last minute construction project because Abby Lee Miller said that your costume was ugly and your mom had to make another one 10 minutes before the show with bobby pins and shredded up Diet Coke cans. So I don't love this one. I'm going to put this in return to sender. And you know what? I don't like the Eye of the Tiger one either. I think it's weird. I don't like the way that it looks. And that's my truth. That's my truth. And you can't get mad at me for having a truth. Okay. The difference between these two guitars is like very insignificant to me. So I'm just going to put them both in great gown. And you know why? Because they're not the original sparkle guitar. Why are we doing sparkle guitar if it's not the original iconic one that should be trotted out and about and paid respect to? If we can get the koi fish out, if we can break her out of jail, why the hell are we keeping the black bedazzled Taylor guitar in jail? I don't understand that. Doesn't make sense to me. Not a lot going on at the moment. The original shirt, Gorgina. Gorgina, I mean, it's faithful to the era. Everybody can relate. A widely mimicked costume. Who's Taylor Swift anyway? Ew. I love that too. When she came out, was that the first variation that she came out with? I love that. I think it's so funny. And also I like to have variation here because I think the red set, like costume wise, can get a little bit dull. I bet you think about me, return to sender. Who cares? It's not funny. Why have you highlighted the words me? That's traumatizing for me given past events. I Knew You Were Trouble, also return to sender. Basic. When we have the humor of the other ones, like I'm sure we could come up with something else. Speaking of coming up with something else, this is not Taylor's version. Gorgina, even though I will be streaming the stolen versions of any song I would like to, as we know. I just realized this ranking is going to get so large because I did all the pictures in portrait mode. Well, you know what? Who cares? We are never ever getting back together. Return to sender. Boring. And you know what? I think the red bodysuit, now there's an altered version and an unaltered version. They basically look the same. The red bodysuit to me is just okay. I think we could have done something different with that. I really think there were opportunities to do something cooler, something a little bit more blue in her hair for the Teen Vogue party. What I do love is that jacket, the sequin jacket. I'm actually okay with not having an option for this because I do think it's so iconic and gorge. And I felt so bad for her when she was wearing it in Singapore because, girl, it was too hot to be wearing all that. It looked like it was going to drag her into the ground and kill her. It was a struggle for her to wear that in Singapore, and she still did it. So mad respect to her. I'm surprised that they didn't come up with a less heavy version as an option for the summer tours, but you know, she's a performer. She commits. I just realized we didn't go through the Fearless statistics. So let's take a look. The most popular option is the short gold tassels, well, as it should be, and also by a long shot. 44% of the time she's wearing that. Shockingly, we have a tentacle dress at number 2, the long gold tassels, followed by the long silver tassels. You know what? She clearly likes to shake her little hips and have a bunch of bedazzled tentacles whacking her around. She wants to get a bruise live on stage because I'm sure those things are heavy because they are all like hand embroidered. The new one obviously is least worn, but it seems like it's a favorite of hers, so I imagine it will be there quite often. I do like the silver with the gold. I think that's cute. This is the closest that you're going to get to like the average Shein fits that people in the crowd are wearing. I feel as though Shein has like very many versions of that short gold tassel dress, like almost identical ones. And while we're at it for red, the most popular one is not a lot going on at the moment. And you know what? That just makes sense. That makes sense. Up next, followed by Who's Taylor Swift Anyway? Ew. Okay, we love that. And then This Is Not Taylor's Version is number 4. I think that we should swap that around with We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together Like Ever. Then we have 2 guitar options, a red and a black guitar. I love the red guitar. I mean, it just fits. It makes sense. Did you guys know that the album is called Red? Did you know that? Seems like Taylor forgets because there's also a black version, but I like the black version too. I just think that it fails to stand out on stage because the All Too Well staging and lighting is like so dark that I think having a red option is good. What I would love to see is a red bedazzled option. I think that we shouldn't be limiting ourselves to one sparkly guitar. I think that all sparkle guitars have a right to exist in this world, and I'm pro sparkle guitar immigration. So let's open the ERAS Tour borders to more sparkle guitars. Now we're getting into the real meat and potatoes of the endeavor. We are looking at the Speak Now dresses. And I think of Speak Now being performed on the ERAS Tour, I think of this gold dress, to be fair to her. It's not my favorite. I'm putting it in Bellissimo because if she's in a ball gown, I'm interested. I'm seated, okay? As a Speak Now stan, I simply have to clap and cheer when I see a poofy skirt. I just do. And if we're performing Enchanted in a skirt that is not a ball gown such as this, it should be in the bin. Up next is the pink dress, which is my favorite, of course. Up close, it's just so beautiful. I don't understand why we haven't seen it in a while. I wonder if the outfits get like ripped and like need to go off for alterations and stuff, but I feel like the pink one has been like almost retired because the last time it was seen was in Singapore, and there have been so many shows since then. And I think that, you know, the people of Europe really deserve to see the pink dress, and they didn't get to see it. The ugliest dress on the entire tour is this disgusting flower dress. What the hell is that? Who asked for that? Whose grandma died and bequeathed her prom dress to Taylor Swift to wear on the Speak Now tour? This is so ugly. And you know what makes it even uglier? It's the sleeves. And at this point in the show, Taylor's like pretty sweaty as well. So I can't imagine that getting into that dress with those tight, glittery skin tight sleeves is good or fun at all. And you know, something that I was laughing at when she reduced the Speak Now set back down to one song is that she has to go through all this effort to put these huge ass gowns on for one song. Literally, she walks out, she does a little armography, she does a little lookography, she does a little blushingography, and then she walks her ass back to the stage. And you know, when you're up close, something that I noticed, especially in Singapore, God love her, she was really struggling with the heat. Something I noticed is that like those big dresses are difficult to move in. So like from afar, she looks like a gorgeous, beautiful floating cupcake, but up close, you can see that she's like viciously kicking her feet forward, and it does not look fluid and natural. It's actually quite funny. The white dress, I love this too. I think I'm going to put this in Bellissimo. I kind of want to put it in Gorgina. I think it's better than the gold dress actually, but it's not as iconic because it wasn't first. It simply wasn't first. Ooh, then we have a dress that I loathe, Return to Sender. I also don't like this dress at all. Crepey tissue paper. I think the way that it like graduates into being something bigger is horrible. The only thing I like about it is that it's purple. The one thing that we are missing from Speak Now is like an actually Gorgina purple gown. Like, why don't we have the white, gold, pink template dress in purple? It doesn't really make sense to me. Instead, we have this ugly, heinous tissue paper construction. The blue dress, Gorgina. Now, I have to laugh because blue is like so not a Speak Now color, and it was part of the gag of announcing 1989. We thought we'd never see it again. I saw it in Dublin. Up close, it's so gorgeous, and it really stands out. So, you know, I'll give the blue her moment in the sun. I'm really yearning for a new Taylor's version announcement because I just want to see all of the outfits we know and love in different colors. I don't know why, it just scratches my brain. Although I can't see a green ball gown looking great. Maybe black would be better. Maybe a combination of the two. Who knows? Let's get crazy. Then we have a new dress, and I'm putting it in well okay because it's not voluminous enough to me. It's like, it's got some lilac lines apparently. It's kind of gold. I just think this is bland and boring, and I don't understand why we don't go with, again, a poofy skirt. I feel like if there's no poof, I'm not interested, as I said. Wow. Take that out of context. Sorry, we do also have this new purple version of the dress that I have seen before, Bellissimo. I don't know why it doesn't jump out to me the way that the pink and the blue do. Maybe it's because the background is purple too and it kind of like fades in. I don't know. I feel like we could have done more with that, but that's just me being picky. But of course, what guitar do we have? The koi fish guitar, forever and always Gorgina, the most beautiful prop on the ERAS tour. Goodbye Moss piano, goodbye fake fearless sparkle guitar. I don't care about you. What we're really here for is the OG original diva, which is the koi fish guitar. And cutting Long Live from the set list was really, that was a really interesting thing that she did. Actually, I would perhaps describe it as hateful. She will barely give it more than one song, but she will give it about 150 different dress options. I mean, I'm seated for it, okay? If we're going to be so sparse with Speak Now, then we should be served a gag and a look every now and again. The most worn one is, of course, the gold one. That makes sense to me. It was the original one. Pink, number 2. The flower sleeves at number 3. I'm pretty sure this one got retired because everybody was complaining about it, no? I think it was. Now we're getting into reputation. Hiss! And there's not much to discuss because there's only one outfit option. And you know what? It might be the gag of the century. I think the Reputation bodysuit is so good. From the second I saw it, I knew it was a gag. We love a leg, okay? We love one singular strutting leg, and we love the other leg to be covered in a slithery red cobra. I mean, come on now. Having some skin, having some bodysuit, it's so Reputation coded in the best way. I am unbelievably seated for a green version of this. When the green version of this comes out, I will be a different person. I will be nice. I will be sweet. I will be gorgeous. I will love Joe Alwyn. I will do everything that the haters and losers want me to do if I can get a green version of this. That snake microphone, hello. I think we could have had a little bit more energy with the microphones. If we could do a casing of a snake cage. Reputation, actually the tour, had the best microphones, I think. But this is the best one on the tour. Now we're getting into the folklore dresses. The yellow one, return to sender. Yellow is not her color. It's just not. I think it never has been unless she has a really strong spray tan. Taylor is one of those people that really can kind of pull off pretty much almost any color. But yellow is the one color that I'm like, you know what, babe? Let's just not. There's a reason why it's never been like a central motif of a color for you. You're much better in like a yellow-orange situation, maybe a gradient. I think pure yellow in this circumstance is bad. And the folklore set and stage is a particular kind of coloring. So a certain deviation from the color palette looks strange to me. So yellow looks weird. Red, I love the red version. She just pops so much against the green when she performs it. It's like red pink. I don't know how you would describe it. Maybe like a fuchsia perhaps, but I love the red one. And you know, that one also, I like that they all have the opportunity for twirling. Twirling is a very essential part of the folklore set. And we have this like pink-ish one. And I'm going to put this in great gown simply because it's not practical. It shows her sweat a lot. And I think in Singapore, I saw her up close when she was very, very hot wearing this. And it just looked a little, I don't know, like cheap. There are nicer versions of the folklore dress for sure. The blue one, great gown, beautiful gown. I like it, but we just don't get to see it that often. So it's not in my mind. Things that are in my mind, the green one, I'm putting it in Bellissimo. When I first saw that, I was like, that is disgusting, color of snot. But you know what? When you put it in the context in all of which it lives and what came before it, it is more than a coconut, I have to say. So I'm going to put it in Bellissimo. Then we have the white folklore dress. I really like this one. This one to me is very quintessential, the folklore set. I'm going to put it in Bellissimo, I guess. Maybe I want to put it in Gorgina. I'm going to put it in Gorgina for now. And if I have to make space, then I will. The purple one, Bellissimo. I like it. I liked it a lot, especially when the tour first started. I thought it looked really pretty when she was sitting on top of the house. But I do think that the pink and the white are better like staging options. But I think the purple by itself, especially when she's doing illicit affairs, looks supreme Gorgina. So giving her flowers. We have the willow cloak up close in detail. It's very beautiful, but I just don't really care that much about it. So it's going into Willow K. And then we have the folklore guitar. And then this is just a classic Taylor Swift guitar. We've seen this guitar before. We love this guitar. We're putting it in Bellissimo. Then we have the long forgotten Evermore dresses. The Evermore dresses. The orange one, Willow K. It has grown on me, but I don't like it. I don't like it. A lot of people are really attached to that dress. Now what's gorgeous is the bronze dress. Gorgina. It was simply gone too soon. We didn't get enough time. I miss you. I'm sorry, as Gracie Abrams would say, and I need you to come home. Come back to me like you would if this was a movie, because we need to see you again. A yellow Evermore dress. I do not remember this. I do not remember it at all, and it's going in return to sender because I don't wish to remember it. This is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand. The Evermore Mossy piano, I mean, we have to stand. It is so gorgeous. I remember seeing that for the first time, both online and in person, and just gasping because it is gorge. It is seriously gorge. The intricacy of it, I remember in Dublin on the third night, it was looking a little battered, a little worse for wear. Like there was one corner of it that just looked like it had been shoved into things and packed away in trucks one too many times. But that moss piano is it's just one of those set pieces that reminds you that the budget for the ERAS tour is crazy and that like normal artists do not get to put this much focus, attention, craftsmanship onto a set piece that stays on stage for like 7 minutes out of a 3-hour show. It's cuckoo. You're always going to be entertained. Are you not entertained? It seems like the humble owners of this spreadsheet are no longer updating what is worn most often, so we're going to stop checking in there. Now we're into 1989, which has 85 million different combinations, so this is going to be really difficult to rank. Starting with the original set that we had, the original like two-piece thing, the pink, cute. Bellissimo. The pink 1989 tour fit, though, that had this essence was much nicer, both in design and also in color scheme. The pink was a lot more vibrant. This pink feels a little bit dull, so I'm not a huge fan of that. The green one, I loved the green one on the 1989 tour, and I love the green one on the ERAS tour. I also really like the orange one. I remember being really excited when I saw the orange one, because this is that burnt shade of orange that I love her in, and it's like sexy, it's slinky. The blue, you know, great gown, beautiful gown. I love blue, but I feel like the blue options for this tour are not the best. But now that I'm looking at my Gorgina category, there are many blue options in there. So maybe I should just shut up. The 1989 options. So I have the tops and the skirts here. The tops. I like the pink one a lot. It really depends on like what they're paired up with, right? Because sometimes I feel like an all monochromatic look is good. Pink and green, I really like together. Green and orange and Ireland, that was a gag. Should have been done every day, but she only did it once. Orange, I'm going to put it in Bellissimo. We like orange. Green, I'm putting it in Gorgina. I just love to see it. Yellow, I'm putting it in Return to Sender. Again, my diva. Yellow is just not your color. It doesn't work for you, and that's okay. And I think that we should just stick to what we know, stick to the status quo, as they would say in High School Musical. Blue, okay, I don't really care. Purple, I also don't feel strongly about. See, it's hard to care about a top out of context. Like, I could give you more opinions on the combinations, which we'll look at in a second. The pink skirt, Bellissimo. The orange skirt, Bellissimo. I'm putting them all in Bellissimo, okay? They're all skirts. They, in fact, are all skirts, and I have seen all of them. The yellow one, actually, no, that's a sneak. Yellow one goes straight to Return to Sender. Let me put them in great gowns, actually. That's where they belong. This tab is called the 1989 Outfit Matrix, and I feel like I'm like losing my mind looking at it. There are just so many options. Like, I can't handle it. Like, I cannot differentiate between any of them. They are all simply skirt and top to me. But I will say, the one that I love, the combination that I ride for the most is green and orange, because I'm Irish. Up next is Tortured Poets. I didn't realize there were multiple options for Tortured Poets, but in fact, there are. This is the Vivienne Westwood gown. People were so mean about this online. They were saying that it was like a diaper dress, and like, I respect your opinion, but I also think that you should be in prison for saying that, because I think that it's gorge, and I think that it fits the era so well. And I also don't think it looks like a diaper. Maybe when you get like that strange crotch shot of her, but maybe don't look at her crotch. What about that? So there are two options. There's the I Love You, It's Ruining My Life, and the other one is something about Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, right? It's one of the Who's Afraid of Little Old Me lyrics. The I Love You, It's Ruining My Life is my favorite one. I think this is an instantly iconic look. I would say up there with one of the most recognizable best looks on the ERAS tour. And yeah, I said it. The other option is also gorge. I'm going to put that into Bellissimo. Then we have, okay, she has two chokers. She's a silver one and a black one. I'm partial to the black one just because it reminds me of her Grammy fit, and it feels like more lore laden. So I'm going to keep that one there. And then the silver one, you know, great gown, because that's what it is. The jacket, the army jacket, I am obsessed with this. It does give red a little bit. It gives fallen soldier. It gives the smallest man who ever lived. I just wish that she wore it for a little bit longer, but I think that the smallest man, just interlude and segment on the tour, is done and executed so brilliantly. The marching band thing, like the stomping, which I thought was stupid at first, but then just got into it when I saw it live. I mean, come on. She gives, and the jacket is a big part of the giving. The options for the little like two-piece set and the like tail coat that she has, I don't like the gold and the black one, Return to Sender. I don't know why, it just looks cheap. It looks cheaply made, and weirdly, it doesn't look flattering. The first time I saw it, I was like, this doesn't look good on you. The white one, I love the white one, the all white with the silver, gorge. Then there's like a gunmetal and a black option, or like gunmetal and gunmetal together. I like this. I think it's nice. I like the silver version too. I like the black and gunmetal version a lot. I'm going to put that in Bellissimo. Maybe I'll put the all white version into Bellissimo as well. Yeah, okay. There's the black and the silver. I mean, at this point, it's like, really, what is the difference? It's like a bikini top and high-waisted shorts and a jacket. Okay, how many different ways can we do it? Apparently a lot. The surprise song dresses. I mean, these are merely cover-ups, so I don't care to linger on these for too long. There are so many of them as well. The original design, I like the pink one. That feels very iconic to me. Yellow is going in Return to Sender. I think we all know how I feel about yellow on Taylor Swift at this point in the video. Blue, I like. Great gown, beautiful gown. Orange, she usually does something crazy when she wears orange. So I'm going to put that in Bellissimo because I love a wild card moment. Then there's a green and a blue, and I just don't really care about either of them. This is the blue she announced 1989 with, right? Because there's a new version of the like cover-up dress, but I just don't really care about it. The lavender haze jacket I think is very iconic. That fluffy purple jacket. I'm kind of glad that there's only one option of it because I think that like, you know, it's a reference to the music video for Lavender Haze, etc. I also don't know why, but one of my favorite looks on the ERAS store is that bedazzled iridescent t-shirt that she wears over the Midnight's bodysuit. It's one of my faves. I don't know why. It's very iconic. I think it's just because I'm a magpie and it's very sparkly and I like to see it. The blue one. Come on now. Come on now. Blue just looks really good on her. She has blue eyes. She has blonde hair. I mean, it's the color. It's the color. Speaking of the color, I love the pink one too. The pink one is gorge. I told you, pink sweep in Swiftology's household. There's a purple option that's Bellissimo. I'm sure I'll just put it there. There's an iridescent option that looks like it can be a bunch of different kinds of colors. I'm going to put that in Great Gown, Beautiful Gown. The silver one I'm going to put in Bellissimo because it's so shiny. And then the dark purple one is a dark horse. I'm also going to put that in Bellissimo. Best ERAS tour look? Some might say. I am the one who's saying it. The Midnight's bodysuit. There's 3 options. 4 options? 4 options. I want to look at these more up close because, you know, they are different, but subtly, and I definitely do have preferences. So I like the last one the most, the chevron option. Where is that? Chevron option. This one. This to me is the quintessential Gorgina bad bitch bodysuit. I love that. It's iconic. The first one is just kind of, well, okay, sure. I do like the cutout one a lot. I would say that's like number 2 to the chevron one. I'm going to put that in Gorgina actually because I like it just as much. And then what do we have left? The swirls. Okay, who cares? Now we're getting into the Karma jackets. I think they're all ugly. Each and every one is ugly, so they're all going into return to sender. I don't like them, and they look ridiculous with the ridiculous Karma choreography. Does anyone else notice how bad some of the choreography is on the ERAS tour? Like, when you look at it up close, Shake It Off is ridiculous. We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together is insane, and Karma has really ugly choreography as well. It gives kids bop, some of it. It really does. I get that Taylor's not the most skilled dancer in the world, but we can come up with something else. We can come up with something else other than having her in a half squat pirouetting around in a sparkly jacket. I don't want that. I'm going to clean this up a little bit and remove like microphones and instruments, and then we'll go through what my final options are. Let's take a look at what we've got in the Gorgina section of the ERAS tour. You know what? That pink Cruel Summer bodysuit is my number 1 favorite look on the ERAS tour. Yes, the hell it is. Yes, it is. And it's closely followed by the pink dress. And you know what it's closely followed by? The pink blazer. And you know what it's followed by? The pink Midnight's shirt. Are you guys sensing a pattern here? I like Taylor in pink. Sorry, not sorry. So those are my top 4, I would say. Obviously the Cruel Summer bodysuit, it looks so good. The only one that really is like not that cute to me is the purple tassel one, purely because of the tassels. The blue blazer for the man, I mean, we love the gold Fearless outfit. We have to stand. This is not Taylor's version. I actually have to say that's probably my favorite red shirt. The red jacket I think is Gorgina. The blue Speak Now dress, hello, Reputation. Who else is going to give her flowers? I think that that's too many folklore dresses to have. I'm going to get rid of the white one. I'm going to put the white one down, and we have the gorgeous Evermore dress, the piano, which doesn't really need to be there, the green original 1989 fit. I like that. The Tortured Poets fit, and actually a lot of the Tortured Poets fits made it in here. Well, congratulations, Taylor Swift. And then Midnight's. I have my options there. So that is my Gorgina category. Let's take a look at what I'm returning to sender. Sorry, it's the 2 new Fearless dress options. I just don't like them. I don't like the black leotard underneath. I think it looks, again, like a school project. I don't like that. The I Bet You Think About Me shirt, dumb. It's useless. Actually, I don't feel too strongly about that, so I'm going to put these up there because, like, well, okay. I don't feel passionately that they must now be deleted. I think, however, that the tissue paper dress for Speak Now and the cake dress, both of them need to go. They're gone. Girl gone. Goodbye. I saw that purple dress way more than I wanted to, I have to say. All the yellow. Wow, I really don't like her in yellow. And the Karma jackets. You know what? I feel like this is not a lot of hateration. This is not a lot of hateration. Thank you so much for joining me on yet another fool's errand to rank something. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Over 50% of you that watch don't subscribe, and that is personal. That's hurtful. So subscribe now. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, Swifties.